Hello, and welcome back to Geeks Unleashed. This is episode 217, and I have brought back the man himself, Devon. Welcome back.
Woo! Thank you for having me back.
No worries, man. It's good to see you. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, good. It's been a long week, man.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I said to my wife yesterday, it was Christmas last week, and
Yeah,
can you believe it's April?
yeah. It's close to we got like a couple more weeks, but no, I can't believe it. It's gone. I mean, we're almost about halfway done.
Oh yeah, man. And also returning for his third week in a row.
Hey, how we doing, guys?
Right?
Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, no worries. Devon and Tom's first show together, which is pretty cool. Yes. 3 lads, 3 beards.
Yeah.
Yes. No Jasmine this week, so we're all bearded up this week. Right, we got quite a packed show for everyone who's either tuning in live or watching on the rewind. And yeah, before we get cracking in, let's you both had a good week.
Oh yeah, pretty good week, long week.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, long week.
Right, okay. So our first feature is something called Geek News, and you know what? It's been a busy week. There's been a lot that's happened, and but I thought it was right to start off with a little celebration of the life and death of an action classic hero, Chuck Norris. I sort of caught this briefly earlier today. Yeah, man. Well, you guys, like when you got hit by this, obviously it was quite a big thing.
Yeah, oh yeah. So every day coming home from middle school, my grandfather lived with us for a short time, and we would watch Walker, Texas Ranger, me, him, and my sister. So like,
amazing.
This one hit kind of hard because it's like, wow. Like I saw the news yesterday when he was hospitalized, and I was like, oh, okay, well, he's hospitalized. He's in good spirits. Hopefully everything's good. And then to hear this, I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
Oh, I missed the thing about him being hospitalized. I just heard today.
Yeah.
That was quick though. Then.
Very quick.
Yeah. What about you, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, similar to you, Mark. I don't have a big history with Chuck Norris, but obviously, just aware of the legend that he is. My father's a big Bruce Lee fan, so I have seen The Way of the Dragon, and obviously icon. Also, I'm very much into boxing and MMA, and he's such a big figure even in that world as well. So just such a legend.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I just thought I should kick off the show with this. So I was just sitting down earlier eating, and I just popped up on my phone. I was like, oh crap.
Well, I mean, also a little bit off topic, but on the same topic, a little bit of there was a bit of a sad news in the horror community as well. Unfortunately, we lost director Jamie Blanks, he made films like Urban Legend and Valentine, but he was a very prominent figure in the horror community as well. So two big losses and sad losses today. Yeah, unfortunately.
That's sad. Yeah. Now, next piece of news, whilst sad, is obviously not as sad as someone dying, but it is that the Buffy series the reboot has been cancelled. Sarah Michelle Gellar has very tactfully put some messages on social media, which I assume is to grab the attention of maybe some other execs or other streaming platforms to hopefully save it. And I think that's because she's also said she's sort of begging people to not read the script that's been leaked, and she's hoping that the pilot doesn't get leaked. I'm hoping this gets saved. I don't think anyone was on board with this getting cancelled. She's thrown some executive under the bus, saying there was some exec that was involved in the reboot that said he didn't like the original series, never finished it off, and apparently he very much gloated the whole time they were putting this together. And I think I heard her say something like that the reboot was sort of 4 years in the making, and then it just gets cancelled. I don't think anyone saw this getting cancelled. Did you guys watch the original?
I've never seen the original.
Oh man, I was such a huge fan of Buffy and Angel. Honestly, I was quite happy for Buffy to end because it went on for 7 years and they ended it well. But I was almost like a bigger fan of Angel, and that I was particularly gutted about. And I've always hoped they'd bring it back. And when I heard that this was a resurrection of the show, I just hoped that they were going to bring everybody back as well, like get Spike and Angel back. And I don't know how they would have done it. Spike and Angel are vampires, and they've aged in real life, but there we go. So, right, okay. So I think it's probably only me that's been affected by this news, but
yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen a few episodes, but I haven't watched it enough to be able to say like I'm a fan or anything. But seeing who was attached to it, you know, like Chloe Zhao, and you know, I assumed, you know, yeah, it was gonna be a good rollout. But
yeah, Chloe that she was attached to it. I was taking this seriously that they were giving this like a decent treatment, but
100%, yeah. So yeah, I was definitely surprised when I read the news for sure.
Okay, so there's also been a leak for some footage for the new Tomb Raider TV series. So I'm just going to throw this up.
That's Sophie Turner today, looking tough and wielding weapons in the woods of the UK for Prime Video's upcoming Tomb Raider series. Expected by 2027, the actress is following in the A-list boots of other Lara Crofts, including Alicia Vikander and Angelina Jolie. E.T. was on set with Angie in 2000.
In the beginning, I thought, oh, how can I possibly be this woman? I don't want to be this woman, the pressure. And then after a while, you learn how to sword fight.
Well, thanks, E.T. for that. I struggled to find some standalone footage, but I appreciate E.T. Throwing it up. But I'm just going to go back to this quickly picture here. What do you guys think, Sophie Turner as the new Tomb Raider?
I'm cool with her being Lara Croft. I really am. I know a lot of people are kind of
me too. I think she's going to do well.
I think she's going to do a great job. She's got the acting chops. We've seen it from Game of Thrones. I mean, I think she's going to crush it. I really do.
I watched a miniseries that she was in earlier in the year on Amazon called Steel. I binge watched that thing. I watched it over 2 nights, 3 episodes one night, 3 episodes the next night. She ran that show. She was so good. Look, she's a hugely different actress from what was in Game of Thrones. She's grown up a lot. I know. I think that's what people maybe are judging this on, but I think she's going to do so well. There was a picture shared of her probably about a year ago where she was like lifting, I think either lifting up her top or maybe she was wearing something small, but you could see the abs, you could see the work that she was doing for this. So I think she's thrown her all into this, and I'm excited. I'm a huge Tomb Raider fan anyway, so I'm going to watch it. I really do need to get on and watch the animated film, the animated TV series that came out on
with
Netflix.
Haley Atwell doing the voice.
I think that's what put me off was that they changed the actress's voice. Like the animated series is meant to be connected to the games. They brought back some of the actors from the games, but they didn't bring in the same voice actress. I've forgotten her name now. She's in Game of Thrones. Not Game of Thrones. She's in Grey's Anatomy. So I was a bit peed off with that, but so that's kind of why I didn't jump into it. But I should probably try and watch that before this comes out. Right, okay. So it was a big week this week. I'm going to hit us up with the one that I haven't watched first. It's a teaser for June 3.
Oh, I've seen it.
I haven't seen it.
If we have a girl, what will we name her?
Her name should be Ganima. She would need to be strong, like her mother. What if it's a boy?
I would name him Leto. So he would have the wisdom of his grandfather.
War feeds on itself. The more I fight, the more our enemies fight back.
Oh wow.
I'm doing the best I can to protect my family. die. But I must not die. Yet.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
That looks amazing.
I can't wait. I've heard a lot of people say that because if you've seen the other two, which I'm assuming both of you have seen them.
Yeah.
So Jason Momoa's character, obviously, in one of the movies, doesn't make it. I'm pretty sure, if I remember incorrectly, he was fighting in the hallway. I'm pretty sure, and he dies. I'm if I'm remembering correctly. So seeing him in the trailer, I was like, why is he here? And a buddy of mine was like, whatever you do, because people have read the books, so people know, I mean, the books are, they've been out for a long time. He said, whatever you do not look it up because it's a heavy spoiler. And I'm like, all right, sounds good. I don't know how they do it. I don't know. I'm interested. We saw Robert Pattinson.
Oh yeah, honestly, do you know what I was thinking? It's like the Robert Pattinson renaissance at the moment. Yeah. He's in a film coming out in about 2 weeks called The Drama, which I'm looking forward to.
Oh, it's
and then he was in the what's it called? The film with Jennifer Lawrence last year.
Oh yeah, I heard about that one.
Yeah, where they got married and she's
it's a weird one.
Yeah, I watched it at the cinema, and man, the acting and the chemistry between the two of them is just crazy. Good. To be honest, Jennifer Lawrence did steal the show there, but it was a good movie. It was really strong. That was a chaotic thing. That was just made me think. So, yeah, it was a tough film. That was not a relationship I would ever want to be in. I wanted no part in that one. Anyway, that trailer, man, I'm glad I waited to watch that with you guys. I'm excited for that. I watched them both on the big screen. So I think part 1 came out during COVID, where they did a re-release when they brought out part 2 about a week or 2 before. So I went to the cinema and watched part 1 on the big screen, and then part 2. I'm excited for this. Guys, I'm pretty sure this comes out the same weekend as Avengers Endgame.
Ooh.
Yes. Yeah, like I think
it's a big weekend.
Look, you're gonna have to pick one to go and see first. What's it gonna be?
It's probably gonna be Dune. I'll probably see Dune first.
You'll see Dune first.
Yeah.
What about you, Tom?
I'm straight to Doomsday. I'm a bit of a comic book nerd, so I'm looking forward to seeing some Doom for sure. But
I'm not sure. I'm still not sure. I'm excited for both, so I just
same.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be. Do you know what I should do? Maybe I should just book the day off and just watch them both on the same day.
I'm thinking I'm going to do the same thing. Just a double feature.
Yeah, double. Yeah. Just go.
6 hours of movie.
6 hours.
No, that trailer looks absolutely epic, doesn't it?
I'll just say to my wife, I'm just going into the office. Just keep it to myself. So.
Right.
Right. Okay. Speaking of Avengers Endgame. Somebody that has been in a few Avengers films is coming back this summer.
Yes,
let's go.
Oh God.
I can't believe our first hit MIT. MJ, come on, pretend like you're not the happiest you've ever been in your entire life.
I can't.
I knew it.
Hi, my name is Peter Parker. You don't remember me, but we used to know each other. Something bad was going to happen, and the only way to stop it was to make everyone forget about me. Because I'm not just Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man.
What the hell, Frank? You just hit me with a van!
Quit your whimpering. Suit yourself. Mother.
Go home!
And sometimes Spider-Man has to do the hard thing, even if it breaks Peter Parker's heart. What is happening to me?
Oh, God.
Excuse me, Dr. Banner. I need your help.
What did you say your name was? If DNA is mutating, it would be enormously dangerous.
Spiders have 3 life cycles. When between cycles, it can leave the spider vulnerable to threats.
We are faced with a danger that we can't control. One we can't even see.
Stay out of my way.
You're losing it, kid.
And for those spiders who make it through, it amounts to a kind of rebirth.
Nice flowers.
Oh, they're a housewarming gift.
I'm MJ.
I'm just a neighbor from across the hall.
Friendly neighbor.
Oh, there's just so much.
Spiders who make it through, it amounts to a kind of
Right. Apparently, there's a rumor that they've deliberately blanked out some spaces here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who do you think there?
All right.
I think Daredevil.
I think Daredevil, you could maybe get a little Iron Fist, maybe.
Maybe. I
Good
don't
shout.
know.
That's a good shout.
You could get Hulk, but I don't know if Hulk
No, I don't
would
think
be in
Hulk-
there with
Hulk
them.
wouldn't be shot. No, Hulk
You
wouldn't
could
be
get
shot.
Elektra.
I'm wondering if Elektra's somehow involved in Daredevil. I think there's a rumor that Daredevil season 2 will lead into this. And apparently there's a lot of speculation that he's in season 2 in prison or something, and then that because there was a scene of Spider-Man in prison, so maybe he comes in towards the end. I don't know. I don't think you're going to see Daredevil in most of the film, but it could be towards the end, and I think he's one of these people. Yeah.
100%. There was a comic book floating around, like a comic little snippet where Peter's standing there with the Hulk, and the Hulk's like, what are you doing here, Peter? And he's like, oh, I'm just here giving you a hug. He's like, wait, you remember me? He goes, well, Banner forgot you, but Hulk didn't. And I was like, oh, please.
Oh,
please do it. Please do it. It'd be great. It'd be so awesome.
You know the transformation he's going through. There's a rumor it could be to do with the other storyline. Tom, you probably know that. Do you or not?
Is that in relation to Venom?
No. Okay, so the other storyline was
with Man Spider or Morloon?
No. There was a thing that it ran through. It was in 2005. It was by Peter David, J. Michael Straczynski, and Reginald Hudlin. It ran through like 12 issues or something across 3 or 4 different books in the Spider-Man world. So the other is. It's a big story, to be honest, without going through it all. But there's some development for his abilities. There's people speculating whether it's that, the other, or the man spider thing that you mentioned, Ron. So I think we'll just have to see. So,
do we think that Jean Grey might be here swapping bodies?
Oh, okay. So they think that maybe. What's it? Is it Sadie? What's her name? Sadie.
Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey.
Yeah, they're wondering if she's playing Typhoid Mary.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah.
I reckon it's that. I don't think she's playing the next main character.
It's. I can't wait. I saw this trailer like 7 or 8 times when it.
Well, I think if you the sort of people they've got in this, the Punisher, and then all the villains in here like Tarantula. I think Typhoid Mary would fit in with this. I think that's why they've sort of kept it a secret.
Yeah.
I think they love to create speculation as well. Sorry,
I was just gonna quickly shout out another reason I'm quite excited for this one as well is the director is escaping my name, but he did Shang-Chi, and I think he just got off of doing Wonder Man as well.
Oh, okay.
But he's done some really good work with Marvel already, so I think it's like they've almost given him like a promotion and said, "Look, you've done really well here. Like, let's give you some Spidey." And yeah, I'm excited to see what what we get out of this. There seems to be a lot of different.
Oh, I've just looked up Destin Daniel Cretton.
That's the one. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check out Wonder Man then.
Oh, Wonder Man was really, really good, really different.
Yeah, I haven't still got around to watching it yet.
Okay.
I need to.
Yeah, it's like it's unlike any of the other kind of Disney Plus Marvel movies. It's a lot more like, it feels like something you might see on Apple TV or HBO or something. Yeah, it's a little bit different. Yeah.
So anyway, look, the minute the trailer, I think it's everything that I was expecting it to be, and I'm here for it. I think it looks brilliant. I was worried when I heard that Sony was pushing for another No Way Home big crossover universe movie. I was like, no, we don't need that again. And then when I heard that Marvel were really pushing for the street level villains, I thought, yeah, that I'd love. I'd love to see like Hammerhead and all the people that we're seeing. Scorpion. I love the fact they brought the Scorpion back. I just think this for me is what Amazing Spider-Man is. He's a street level hero, and so far what we've been getting is much larger scale stories of him. Well, the last two have been in his own movie franchise, and then other than that we've got Avengers. So to bring it down to street level, and that Peter Parker luck where he's kind of down and out, he's withdrawn from society, that's kind of a common trait that we've seen over Spider-Man.
Because it was Spider-Man, he was at the height, right? He worked with the Avengers. He went to space. He fought in all these battles. But now, like you said, he's brought down to the ground level. He's done all this stuff. He's experienced Spider-Man. I'm hoping at the end of this movie, we either get a tease for, I don't think they'll do it because Sony's very weird about stuff like that. But like Miles, I hope we get a little glimpse of that. I hope we do get a little symbiote. I really do. I would love to see that experience with this Spider-Man. But yeah, like you said, he's at rock bottom now. He's trying to figure it out. He's lost everything. He lost his aunt. He already lost his uncle. He's lost his friends. And who's to say he's losing himself at this point, right? He's going through a mutation. He doesn't really know what to do with himself. So I'm excited.
That's a good point to mention there. He's lots of family and friends and identity, and now he's losing his own mind and his abilities that he's learned to trust on. So this is meant to be a 4-year time jump between where we last saw him and now. So to see him going through this shift, I'm excited for it. The summer can't come any quicker. We've got some good comic films this year. We've got Supergirl, we've got Spider-Man, and we've got the Avengers. It's a good year for films.
Yeah, some big hitters for sure.
Oh yeah. To be honest with you, we're 3 months in. It's been a good year for films as it is, without even getting these comic book movies. Well, okay, let's jump over to a feature that we call Geek of the Week. Geek of the Week is something that myself, Devon, or Tom have done on our own, that we've watched or read or listened to, or I don't know. It could be anything. Where it's something that we've enjoyed and we wanted to shout out. Devon, as you've not been on for a while, do you want to go first?
Sure. So I've got really two, but I guess I'll harp on just the one. Mine's more so of a video game.
Yes, fine.
So I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Pocopia. It is.
I've heard some really good things about this.
Yeah, it's Animal Crossing meets Minecraft meets Pokemon. It's been a blast. I've basically no-lifed it for a while now, and it's been very, 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 very good. I'm happy that another game came out yesterday, Crimson Desert. I'm happy that that's out because now that's kind of taking some of my time. And I would say I'm gonna jump to next week a little bit because Monday I'm going to see Project Hail Mary. It does come out today. Yeah, it comes out today. I want to see it. I can't wait. I talked so much about the book last year, and reading the book is great. I'm very excited. I actually just brought the book to my mom because she wants to read it. I'm very, very, very excited for this movie. This is like my one movie this year that I'm pumped for. I cannot wait.
Yeah, Tom's seen it already. I haven't seen it yet. But I'm really considering going to see it in 4DX, but there's no 4DX cinema near me. It's like an hour drive. But I'm seriously considering somehow fitting it in over the next few days. Somehow going to see it in 4DX.
Nice.
I really want to do it. I want to do it in 4DX.
I don't want to say too much, but I'll just say, you're both in for a treat. You know what I mean? You're both in for a cinematic treat. It was so good. It was so good.
Oh yes, very excited. I'm very excited. Cannot wait. Yeah, those are my geeks of the week.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, man. Like, you've got me pumped. I really want to see it. I need to somehow fit it in. I was planning on going tomorrow, but then my oldest daughter informed me that I need to run her around to a few places. I was like, oh, crap. Well, that scraps that plan. But yeah, I'm going to try and fit in the 4DX. I want to do it in 4DX. I don't want to see it until I can see it in 4DX. I never done 4DX before, and I just think if I could do it for anything, that film looks like it'd be amazing to do.
Yeah, definitely.
Tom, what about you? What's your geek of the week?
I was going to talk a little about our Project Hail Mary, but I think because we just covered it there, I was also thinking about there were some good books out this week in the comic world, but I want to talk about Invincible season 4. Just dropped this week, and man, obviously I'm not going to, no spoilers or nothing, but it is started with a bang. You know, obviously we're in season 4, so there's not really much setup left to go. It's just all cylinders firing. It is so good, man.
I have to catch up. I've only seen season 1. I've got so much ahead of me. Oh, I'm so excited. Everyone around me keeps talking about it. They keep singing its praises, and now we're on, like you said, season 4. I'm like, how did we get this?
Somehow find the time to do it. Like last year I went on a massive binge watch, and I was behind on The Boys and only watched the first 2 seasons. And last year I was like, right, that's it. Do you know what? And I did seasons 3 and 4. And the Gen V seasons 1 and 2, because I knew that the final season was dropping this year, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to be scrambling next year. Let's just get it out of the way. Let's get it done. Fantastic. And I thought going into this year, I've got to get where Tom is and catch up. So Devon, we're gonna have to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to because
So with Invincible, because I'm behind Tom, is this the final season, or is this we got more to go, or?
No, I'm pretty sure season 5's already been greenlit. Okay. And I don't know if you guys have read the book or
I haven't, no.
This thing could go for a good 10 seasons. This, there's a lot of story. It's 144 issues, and there's a lot in there. So yeah, it's kind of up to them. I've heard it's doing well. Obviously, they're greenlit seasons before seasons have even fully come out. So yeah, I think Amazon are pretty confident in the product, and yeah, it's just so good. I think people are so oversaturated with Marvel and DC. I think people have really enjoyed, similar to The Boys, that there's just a fresh set of characters in this kind of superhero world that you can. But the thing with Invincible as well, as much as it is superheroes and stuff, there's so much humanity in it as well. A lot to relate to and stuff like that. Yeah,
I told my dad, because he likes like that stuff. He's just not big on animated stuff, and I was like, I'm telling you, you just need to watch the first episode. The first episode of season 1 will get you, because that's what hooked me. I saw that first episode and I was like, whoa. And then just binge first season. But yeah, it gets you, it hooks you in very quickly. So
I remember watching that first episode with my dad, actually, and my mum wasn't there. My mum was at my sister's, and me and my dad were just sitting there, and it was a Friday night, and he was like, oh, do you want to watch something? I said, yeah. I went, I know, I don't know if you'll go for this, I said, but there's a new animated series that's come out today. And he went, oh, what is it? And I told him a bit. And he went, he didn't see that before. I went, come on, put it on. And we watched the first 3 episodes in the end that evening. And he turned to me at one point, because it is obviously horrific. And he turned to me and he went, you're lucky your mum's not here. She would not be watching this. But yeah, even he was impressed. He was like, this is good. But yeah, he went, it's pretty violent. I was like,
yeah, it gets brutal.
Oh, yeah, really. Do you know what? You just reminded me, Tom. There was something else I wanted to shout out when I was chatting about the news, and I only heard about it probably about half an hour before we came on. When you were talking about oversaturated, I don't know if you guys know Brian Michael Bendis' Powers independent comic that he's been running for 25 years. He's published it, various people, Image, etc. I've read the whole first volume. I can't remember how many issues that was now. They made a live-action TV series a couple of years ago through Sony. They made 2 seasons of it. Netflix has now just got the rights, and they're going to make an animated version of the comic. So
cool.
it's probably probably not as violent as Invincible or anything like that, but there are some brutal moments in it. And
what's it called?
Powers. It follows two detectives that it's kind of got like an X-Files vibe about it, where they are investigators of power-related crimes. I won't say too much more, Devon, if you want to read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to look into that as well. That sounds kind of good.
Bendis has moved the rights around a lot. At the moment, he's publishing it through Dark Horse.
Oh, cool.
There's a lot to catch up on if you did want to read it. But yeah, I read literally about half an hour before we came on here that he's signed some rights with Netflix to make an animated TV show.
Awesome.
Right, okay. So my geek of the week, I've got to shout out, is a movie that I went and saw on Monday evening. It goes by two names. The Good Boy is one of them, which has been released over here in the UK. Or there's Letterboxd have got it up as Heel as well. So I think they had to change the name because the other film that came out last year called The Good Boy, which I haven't watched. The Good Boy stars Stephen Graham and quite a few other people that are quite well known. Anson Boone is in it as well. I'm so glad I watched it on the big screen. I was chatting to you guys before we started recording. It's very atmospheric. It's very slow. They're deliberately creating tension, and man, there's some moments where my heart did get racing. But there's a lot of quiet, and the premise is that Stephen Graham's family kidnapped someone and put him in the basement. I don't really want to spoil too much more about it, but it's so well done. And they inject some other people in, but it's a very small, tight cast, and you can see things like Stockholm Syndrome, and there's some other bits and pieces in there, and you know, are people, you know, they talk about you know, how people grow up, and is it family, is it nurturing, or is it how people are? There's some of that in there as well. There's a feel to it at the end where you want to know a lot more about it. You can't. There's a few people online said if ever there was a film that should have been a miniseries, it should have been this. They create a lot of questions, and you kind of want to dig more. And I love how the director makes you leave this film wanting to know more about some of their motivations, some of their backstory, because it's just like real life. You don't always get everyone's backstory. People might mention bits and pieces, and that's kind of some of that happens throughout this. The main story point is resolved, but there's lots of little bits you kind of want to just pull on and find out more about. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's a very, very clever film, very quiet and full of tension. I would recommend.
Perfect.
Yeah, to keep my eyes up. I might see if the locals go on.
I definitely want to check it out.
It's just got a limited release at the theater. I think. What is it? So theatrical release started on the 6th of March in America, and it says here 20th of March, like today in the UK. But I think I got a preview showing on Monday. I went to. So.
Oh, cool.
Right, we are going to move into our main event.
Yeah. Let's go.
Right, okay. So, guys, you know what? March 2026. Can you believe it's been 10 years since we first saw the comet split in the sky above Itamori? But yeah, so today we are looking back at a film. Do you know, I couldn't believe this film is 10 years old.
That's crazy.
I think I did. I don't know if I watched it in 2016, but I watched it fairly close to 2016, and I think it was the poster that caught my eye.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that's really interesting to me is the budget of this movie, $7.5 million equivalent is what it cost to make this film. And it made back a 5,000% return in revenue with over $405 million equivalent. Now, there has been some re-releases and stuff like that, but that's what's got to that. And if you compare Disney level animated films that have had 150 million budget to produce similar revenue, and a lot of the success as well apparently is down to the small budget, where they were able to have a much tighter crew involved in creating what I feel is a masterpiece. But
yeah.
Right, Devon, before we go any further, do you want to shout out some of the cast and crew?
Yes. So one of the main characters, Tachibana, is voiced by Ryunosuke Kamiki. And then Michael Sinter Nicholas was the English voice actor. Mitsuya Miyamizu was voiced by Mone Kamishi Rushi. And then Stephanie Shea. And then I believe his sister, right? No, the classmate,
Oh, yeah.
Mitsuya's classmate was voiced by Rio Narita and Kyle Herbert, and then Sakia Natori was voiced by Aoyuki, and then Cassandra Lee Morris. And there's a lot more characters, but
Oh, yeah.
so many more characters, but yeah.
Okay, so this film, which I didn't realize is the first part in a thematic trilogy until I was getting ready for this episode, known as his disaster trilogy. I struggle with the names too.
Makoto Shinkai.
Yeah. It's the first part in his disaster trilogy. Do you know what? I actually bought the Blu-ray for anybody that is watching, and I have very few Blu-rays, and I just thought, you know what? I've loved this film for a long time, but I've only ever watched it digitally, and I just was so impressed to watch this on my TV. It is a beautiful film. When we were getting ready for this episode, I hit Devon up, and like we did with Tom a couple of weeks ago, we talked about one of Tom's favourite films. I hit Devon up and just said, give me a list of some of your favourites, and your name was one of the ones that you shouted out. And before we go any further, man, I'd just love to know what makes it one of your favourites.
I think so. When I first saw this film, it was probably 3 years after it came out. It might have been 2019. I watched it in a Discord call with a couple of friends.
Amazing.
And I think just the way the animation is done, the story that they're telling, and obviously I'll get more into it as we go on, but it just made such an impact to the point where I was telling my mom, listen, you need to watch this movie. You're going to love this movie. She still hasn't seen it, but I recommend this movie to almost everyone that is either wanting to get into an animated style. Growing up, a lot of people saw Spirited Away, and that's I feel like that my Neighbor Totoro is those two movies are or Princess Mononoke. A lot of people see those and they're like, all right, yeah, I like that. I think this one for new age, just the animation style, the colors, the story it's telling, it's one of those romantic fantasy films that doesn't feel like it is that, but it just leaves you in such a place where it's almost like a breath of fresh air. It's just so good, and it's just up there. It's up there as one of my favorites. I absolutely love it. Adore this movie.
Absolutely same here, man. Tom, I'm going to go to you next, because when I hit you up about this, you've not really. I don't know if I've watched as many anime as Devon. Definitely not as much as Jasmine. Jasmine is just an encyclopedia of anime. For anyone that's listened to the show for a long time, during the early stages of Geeks and Niche, we were started during COVID. I think Jasmine just lived and breathed anime, so there's no way that I could ever compete with that knowledge. But I have watched a lot of anime over the years, mainly movies. I've watched a few shows, but mainly in the movie world, and Your Name is one of them. But yeah, I hit Tom up, and you said, haven't really got into anime, haven't really watched a few. So this is what I think you said it was your first anime movie.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, my the most anime experience I've had is maybe Pokemon or Dragon Ball Z, or I've tried a little bit of My Hero Academia as well, a few shows here and there. But I've never dived into any of the movies, and I know that doing my research, anime's been around for a long time, doing a lot of good work as far as it seems. So I was interested to check this movie out and see how I find the format and the medium. Yeah.
And what's your thoughts? First one in.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where it's it seems like there's, I don't want to use the word tropes because I don't know if that sounds negative, but there seems like there's staples to what makes something anime. Yeah, whether it's how the dialogue's performed or the animation itself, and I think I'm still getting used to that as I'm watching, being so used to kind of our standard But I couldn't help but just be totally impressed by the film. I mean, just the animation, the story, and I found myself really surprised. I think I went into it not really sure what to expect. I was really surprised by the level of emotion and the themes and how deep it ran. Because at first I thought, oh, a body swapping film. I mean, we've seen that before, but as you say, there's twists and turns, and I thought it was really good. I thought it was really enjoyable.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Because I know initially well, I've never done anime before, and obviously it's risky when someone's never done it before.
Of course.
You always worry. Well, it's like any genre that someone stayed away from. Is it something that they're going to embrace? Because this is like your first point of entry to this genre. So I'm pleased that you enjoyed your first entry, and you like you say, you highlighted the fact that it is a body swap film. And Devon mentioned it's a romantic fantasy animated movie, but with actually, and it doesn't come into later, a very clever twist. And that twist actually really does shift the concept of the whole body swap thing, which I think is cool. Now, the body swap element, I think the first 20-30 minutes we get almost like a comedic montage of their. Initially we get to see the ramifications first, and then we start to follow the body swaps, and I just thought it was just really good, the impact they have on each other's lives. Then they eventually start to realize, whilst that they think it's a dream, as time goes on, they realize that they are genuinely body swapping, and they start to create codes and ways of leaving diary messages for each other just to sort of help each other with these body swaps, but they still have an impact on each other. And then they even start to have some good times with it, leaving messages in each other's faces. You're an idiot. And I just think it's just that first 20-30 minutes is actually quite funny. And I love that bit. And then we get the build up to, and then suddenly we get this moment where the body swaps just stop happening, which is kind of surreal as well, which then starts to lead us into a shift from comedy into kind of like detective, investigatory and more like drama as it goes down this route, until we get the twist that actually the body swap isn't happening concurrently. It's actually happening with a time gap as well. There's a 3-year gap between the two characters where the body swap is happening with someone in the past and someone in the present. And I was like, what? When that happened, mine was blown. I was like, that was such a good twist.
Yeah, awesome. I didn't see that. Yeah, that kind of just added so much to this for me, because it then became unfamiliar. It's like, okay, where are we now going with this? And I was looking forward to seeing where they took it. And I thought there were some really cool things that came in with that after.
Yeah, what do you think of the time twist?
So when I first saw it, I was awestruck, right? I couldn't, like, we had to pause it because I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy, right? I mean, for them to throw a twist like that and then trying to figure out, wow, okay, so it's in the past, but he's here. We're like, what's happening? What are we doing? And then, I mean, towards the end, once you figure everything out, you're like, man, this is just it's so compelling, right? Like the storytelling is so well done, and like it makes you care about the characters, even though, and like they care for themselves, and obviously not just themselves, but the whole group of that town, right? I mean, like 3 years and a whole town was decimated with like 500 people, right? So like there's stakes here, and like just so good. The body swapping I think it was really, really done well.
I love that the body swap actually, the whole comedic thing turns into this kind of love story, but actually with high stakes involved. Like, the film evolved as it went on. It went from comedy and kind of family and sweetness at the beginning into, like, say, investigatory, into kind of sci-fi, and then we got the disaster high stakes element, and that's actually brilliant to watch a film like that where it shifts. and you don't know what you're going into. Like there's some
Right.
films that are quite obvious. This film to me wasn't, but yeah, man, like Tom, you know, first watching, you didn't know about that twist. I deliberately didn't tell you. Well, when you saw that twist, what did you think?
Yeah, I just thought it elevated the movie so much, and it was such. That's why I said, like, the main thing I came away from this movie is just being impressed, you know, with the writing, the storytelling, those little twists and turns, and character reactions to, like, we get to see you know, her kind of small town being destroyed by the comet. I mean, you get to see both main characters' kind of reactions to that, which I thought was really powerful scenes as well. And yeah, I didn't see that coming. That wasn't something I was expecting going into this, because I did have a little look at kind of like a small teaser trailer and got the idea that there was body swapping involved. So I've gone into the movie thinking, oh, well, I probably know where this is going. So for it to take such a left turn, such a big swing, I thought was, yeah, really, really paid off as well. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to forget that, if you know what I mean, as well. So it's like that makes the movie kind of stand out even more, I think.
Yeah, it was a clever narrative twist that I liked. It's not the first time I've seen something like this. A few years ago, I watched not body swapping, but Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. They did a romance fantasy film. I think it's called The Lake House, where they were writing love letters to each other, and there was a time gap there. So I have seen the time gap thing done before, but not the body swap. So this is clever. I liked this. I like the fact that they flash back and they show the two characters meeting earlier, but obviously they kind of don't know. And it's very similar in the Lake House thing. Something similar happens. But I love how he gets her ribbon, and that is the connection that the two have through the ribbon that she passes across. But I assume that maybe there's some sort of magic involved in the element of the comet as well. That they both are looking at the comet. I assume it's something like this. It doesn't need to be explained. I don't need to know how they ended up doing the body swap. It's one of those things you kind of have to accept.
Right.
But yeah, man, look, what attracted me initially to this was the animation. That's what caught my eye. It was the poster. I thought was very visually striking. And then I watched this, and I don't remember how long it was after 2016. I don't know if it was the year it came out or not far out after that. And I'm just, man, you can't help but be impressed, and especially knowing that the budget as well, it's just so visually striking, appealing, and I love some of the music that they put in there as well. Really fits some of the style, and it just feels really dramatic in certain parts. And to be honest with you, I eat it all up. It just really pulls me in.
I think my favorite part about the music, I mean, right before, like towards the end, right before the comet hits, right, they just stop the music, so you get that full effect and the weight of the whole destruction of everything. Like no, this isn't like the music. The music is fun, it's uplifting, it brings levity to everything, but then having it gone, cut, and having the comet hit and the explosion and the decimation and everything, you just sit there and you're like, man. Wow, that's
feel the gravity
crazy.
of it more, Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, that. Do you know what? When you're talking about moments that you're thinking of, when they do the sort of the final body swap, you know how there's been this gap of body swapping, and then he drinks that thing that she placed in the cabin, and then you see her running around well, initially it's him in her body, but then they eventually go back again after the magic hour thing, and seeing her running around the town trying to save everyone and that desperation, like that you start, like you just said, Devon, earlier, you fall in love with the characters in the town, and I was kind of caught really by, I don't know, just her desperation, and you also as a viewer, like, do they survive? Do they survive? Like, obviously, I assume she did, but you just, because you still don't know. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about those final moments?
I think those moments were great, right? I mean, they have a plan to get an evacuation in place, right? But you don't know if it's going to go through because they've been told, like, oh no, we're staying here, like we're not leaving or anything like that. And then to basically get to the end, and you know, obviously what happens, you're just like, man, thank the Lord, right? Thank the Lord. Because like, I mean, if it would have ended like that, right, it would have been like, man, it was all for nothing, right? But I think the way it ends, I think the way it ends is so perfect. Like, it's the most perfect ending, but also it leaves you wanting just a little bit more from it, right?
So yeah, do you know what? I obviously we're talking about the ending, but you know, there's this like emotional payoff and ending, and I was caught. I'd forgotten about the 5-year time jump. I knew that there was a follow-up part where they find each other, but I couldn't believe it was now he's an adult, and we followed him from school, you know, as early adult, and then suddenly we actually see him as an adult in a suit going to work, and you know, and this emptiness that, and by the way, guys, I just wondered what your thoughts were on both of them forgetting after the body swap and after the people were saved, that they both kind of forgot each other, and also all the entries were removed from the phones. And I did it bother you, or like, what do you think about it?
Oh yeah, there was definitely like part of me, I was like, wow, I can't believe they just like did that. Like, why are we, I mean, it makes sense, right? Now it makes sense, but at the time I'm like, why? Like, what's going on? Why is this? And them feeling that emptiness and that longing makes you feel it, right? Because you're like, you're invested, and you know, you're kind of left in that feeling like what they're feeling, right? You're just like, you want it to end in a good way, but like they string you along. And it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
Like that ending where they see each other on the train and then they run through a town to try, like, they've obviously both got off at different stops and they're running to each other, and then they see each other at the top and the bottom of the stairs, and as a viewer you're like, it kind of expected them to run towards each other, and they don't give us that. They then walk past each other, and then they turn around and face each other. And I love the fact that the last line is, "What's your name?" You know, ends with the title of the film. And I thought, what a payoff that they call it Your Name, and that's the last line of the movie. And I think, you know, to have that payoff, but then you're left with like, well, what happens next? But I don't need to know. I'm alright with it. You know. Yeah, Tom, what do you think about that ending?
Yeah, I thought, you know, Devon said it beautifully, that it's kind of stringing you along, you know, as you go, and you're wanting it to go one way, you want it to go the other. But I think the ending really rewards the viewer for the experience you just had. You get there and you finally get that scene, because as you say, they don't run to each other, you know, they walk past, and you think, wait, and then it's done beautifully, and I was really impressed by it. And I think it was quite beautiful, actually, the way in the manner in which they delivered that very last scene. I thought it was I thought it was touching.
Do you guys have any criticisms or anything like that?
I do. For sure.
Oh,
okay.
Ooh, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, that sounded worse.
Devon's ready to pile in. He's like,
no. I no, like, because I think
I have got two.
Yeah, I definitely think there should be some. The only thing I want to shout out, I really like that our main character, he is trying to keep the well-being of the culture, right? The Asian old style culture, like the town that she lived in, you know. He doesn't know why he wants to, but in all his construction interviews, he's like, I want to bring back this culture. And they're like, oh, well, we don't really care about that. We're trying to build big. But like, he's trying to keep that culture because in essence, that's what ties you back to, you know, that older time period. You know, you're back at your roots. I really like that. I don't really have too many criticisms, I don't think, but I'm ready to hear yours and see if I agree, obviously, because I can't really think of any right now.
I think before Tom jumps into his, my criticisms are only if you really start to nitpick, right? So there's a 3-year gap, and back in 2016, and it would have been 2016 and 2013, social media and smartphones were not as huge as they would be now. But the jump in technology was still quite big. A 3-year gap, how did they not pick up the difference in technology? But also there was social media, there was news. I know that you have to kind of just pull away from that element.
Right.
How did they not pick these things up? Just I'm just saying, like, you can open your phone and, for instance, what we said earlier, I picked up my phone earlier and heard about Chuck Norris today. How is it that they didn't pick these things up? Like, I know that's just me nitpicking, but that's my only real criticism, is that you have to make an allowance for that. Oh, and the other thing is that even though he kept body swapping with somebody that lived in a town that had been destroyed 3 years previously by a comet, come on, like, no one forgets that. Like,
right.
If there was a town 4 hours from me that got destroyed by a comet 3 years ago, there's no one forgetting that. Like that. I think you have to make an allowance for maybe him being a younger person and maybe a little bit consumed with his own life potentially. But and that's probably all it could potentially be. But that's probably my only real criticisms. But Tom, what's yours?
Before I do jump into the criticism, I forgot to mention, I did want to quickly mention as well, one thing that I found really cool as well was, obviously you see a lot of Tokyo, main big city, and then you're seeing a lot of the small village. And obviously I can't speak for both of you, but I've never been to that part of the world. And I just thought the filmmakers, animators really did a good job of making both aspects of that part of the world look extremely beautiful. I mean, some of the shots of Tokyo just, you could pause the movie at any point and it's potentially a wallpaper for your desktop of just pure beauty, So I did like seeing both sides of that and how beautiful they both looked in their own right, which I thought was good. But negatives, there's two, and I think I'm going to be in the minority because I've already seen quite a lot of reviews talking about how much they love the music and stuff like that. I wasn't too big on the music. Like I said, I'm a little bit new to anime, and not all of the music, but some of the tracks that came on that were really, fast tempo drums and high beat, kind of high spirited and high volumed. I don't know. It wasn't. It fits what I'm watching, but it just wasn't. I would have maybe preferred something else.
Of course.
And also, I'd say once again, I think this comes back to not being too big on anime, but some of the comedy and maybe some of the dialogue wasn't landing every time for me. But once again, I think that more comes with just being new to the subgenre, I suppose. So because, like you said, realistically, there isn't much to critique filmmaking wise, animation wise, story wise. But I just thought the music and some of the dialogue delivery was a little bit taking me out of it at some points.
Fair.
That's fine.
Very fair.
I think, you for your first entry into anime, I think overall it sounds like you enjoyed it. And
definitely.
But I think as well, if you think about the music, on a $7.5 million budget, his audio choices were going to be limited. But having said that, I have no issue with the music, but he wouldn't have been able to license anything. He had to. I haven't looked this part up. I'm assuming that it was just created for the film, but on a smaller budget. Licensing stuff's always going to cost a little bit more. But I do think on a tighter budget and having a tighter cast and crew allowed him maybe to shape more of his own vision rather than probably, think about Disney movies where they're rolling it out to 200 or 300 staff. So.
No, and I think for what they, like when you bring the budget up, it's true, and what they had, they done a immaculate job with it.
I can actually tell you a little snippet about the music if you want.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, cool.
The score of Your Name was composed by Yojiro Noda, the lead vocalist of the Japanese rock band Radwimps. Shinkai requested him to conceive its incidental music in a way that the music will supplement the dialogue or monologue of the characters. Its soundtrack was well received by critics and audiences alike and is acknowledged as one of the factors behind the film's commercial success. At the 2016 New Type Anime Awards, the music was runner-up in its best soundtrack category. That's about it.
So, how do you think, you've obviously, I know you didn't watch it in 2016, but you watched it fairly close to it. How do you think it holds up after almost 10 years?
Oh, I think, watching it again, it's still like so I think and this is my take on someone who's watched anime quite a bit, right? I mean, I think the animation style that they use is top tier to what they use now, which is crazy that this was 10 years ago, right? Because now you've got studios like Mappa Station, and they do a lot of your new seasons of Attack on Titan, your Demon Slayers, a lot of your newer seasons of My Hero Academia. So like, it looks great, it looks tight, it looks all that. I don't know who did the animation for this, but absolutely amazing, right? I mean, you could watch this and think, oh, I could tell someone, oh yeah, this movie came out last year. This came out in 2025, and they'll be like, really? This is amazing. Like, it's so good. And it's like, oh no, well, it actually came out in 2016. They're like, what? How? Like, I think the level that this anime, like, it should be held to the standard of today, right? I think it holds up so well, absolutely so well.
I think the animation is just so good for 10 years ago, and that animation does not appear dated in any capacity. Watching this today, I rewatched it today. I've watched it several times, but rewatching it today, I was just like, this film is just still as beautiful as it was back then. And the story and everything about it just is still as captivating as it was. And there are many films I've rewatched over the years, and this is one of the ones I've enjoyed rewatching. And for me, do you know what I was thinking about it? Just to get deep a little bit here, it kind of asks the question here about, have you ever felt, this is something playing in my mind about, have you ever felt connected to someone you've never met? And there's probably a lot of people could feel that, celebrities and people they see on social media, and this actually dives deeper into that, and his connection to this person that he's never met, and the relationship building, and in fact they never meet each other, but they, do you know what? While I'm thinking about it, Quantum Leap. Did you ever watch or know about Quantum Leap? TV series that came out in the 90s.
I remember you talking about this before.
Yeah. So Scott Bakula, he in the 90s, the TV series around 5 years. They did a reboot series a couple of years ago. But Scott Bakula said the concept he loved about it was walking a mile in someone else's shoes. And that is a very similar concept here, where they're living in each other's lives, and whilst they get to see each other maybe in the reflection and understand each other's culture, and like you say, you've got the city and the countryside, but ultimately they never meet each other until that sort of magic hour, that way they get to see each other face to face, and then right at the very end. So most of the film, they don't actually get to meet each other. They're drawn in and they're connected with each other from living in each other's lives, but not actually meeting, and they start to become bizarrely attracted and connected to each other through their own lives, but like living in each other's lives, which I just thought was just a really amazing concept. Yeah. Guys, you got any thoughts on any of that?
It sounds interesting. I remember you talking about it, and
Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
So the first run that came out in the 90s was a lot more low budget because it was the 90s, and then the reboot series was a lot bigger stakes and there was a lot more visuals in there. I preferred the first run, and I think a lot of people did. But yeah, guys, is there anything you want to add in there, or should we start to?
I think I'm gonna watch the other movies that are part of this because I definitely want to. Just because rewatching it, I'm like, man, it's such a good film, and if like this one is that good, just animation wise and story wise and all that, the others must be just knockout.
Oh yeah, Suzume and Weathering with You are just as beautiful and equally compelling. I absolutely love all three of them. They're just so good. I'm like you, Devon. I jumped in with things like Studio Ghibli movies and Spirited Away and My Neighbor Totoro and a bunch of others. And I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but I saw the live action version of My Neighbor Totoro in London a couple of years ago. It was so good. I took my parents and my wife and kids, and just seeing My Neighbor Totoro live on the stage, so well done. It's still getting shown at the moment in the West End. It's brilliant. That's awesome. Yeah, so I did a lot of Studio Ghibli, and then because of Jasmine, I ended up watching a few other things, including the first season of Jujutsu Kaisen, and But my anime is not as strong as yours and Jasmine's, but I just got drawn to these films. The visual style of them really was what got me in there. And I'll be honest, watching all three films, you can tell it's the same creative teams involved, but it's their own unique story. Yeah. I was saying to you guys before we start recording that he also seems to have a bit of a shared universe thing going on, where apparently, I haven't seen this film, but Garden of Words has a character who's a main character in there, has a cameo in this film, which I love when creators do stuff like that. I've not seen Garden of Words, but it's very Pixar, the Pixar shared universe thing.
Yeah.
Right, okay, look, man, this film, it's amazing. I think we're all in agreement, it's beautiful, it's compelling. And I think clearly the people that contributed to that 405 million equally agree.
Yeah,
100%.
You can see why he got further sequels if he managed to turn that around.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't believe it when I saw how much money it made. You feel like, how did I miss this? You know, like
right. No, yeah, I didn't even.
A lot.
Yeah, I didn't even realize. Tom, I did want to say there's a lot of horror anime out there, like a lot of horror anime. Yes. So I think since you're into horror, I think that would be probably a good little genre to jump into just a little bit.
Yeah, man. Any you'd recommend off the cuff, or anything I should dive into? Or
I would say the only one I can think of off the top of my head is Parasite. And it's not to be confused with the movie that came out in 2019, I think, right? Was that 2019?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's 2019.
Yeah, it's like a survival horror where an alien parasite takes over like humans, and it's basically a fight for survival. It's very gory, but it's so good. It's so good.
Oh man, I'm gonna add that to the watch list.
Yes, I would check that one out. Yeah.
No, I appreciate that, mate.
It's a film or TV series?
I believe it's a TV series.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, it's 24 episodes.
Perfect. That's not too bad. Not too, because I've heard things about anime shows being about really ridiculously long sometimes. So that's a nice.
Some of the bigger shows are really long, but stuff like this, like if they do like one season and it ends in one season, 24 episodes is pretty good. And I mean, it's like what 30-minute episodes, not too bad. So,
yeah, smash through that. No, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, of course.
There are some. I was to say with the anime thing, there's just so many different things. Like obviously, you can't even make up some of the stuff that they think about. You know, there's series of, like some of the crazy concepts that they come up with. Some of it's like normal slice of life TV, and then some of it's,
of course,
you know, a show about a toaster or something. It's just like some of it is just so bizarre and out there. It's just you couldn't have enough time in the day to ever watch all of it. But
I was going to ask, did any of you guys see an anime show? I think it's called Danda, maybe.
Oh, Dandaran? Yeah, I watched the first few episodes. Really good. Really
that was a crazy concept, though, wasn't it? Like the first couple of episodes are really out there.
Yes, the concept of that show is really, really weird, but it's so good. It's so good.
It was good. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I need to carry on with that because I did enjoy the first few episodes on that one.
Very, very, very good.
Also, did those? Sorry.
No, I was going to say last night I didn't watch the film last night, but I went on to Crunchyroll and I watched the first episode of a show called Lord of Mysteries, where it actually does have the body swap kind of, but more taking over someone else's body. So I only watched the first episode, so I don't really know that much about it. But this guy's soul ends up in somebody else's body. And the opening scene is the guy's kind of putting things together, trying to work out what on earth has happened. And the body that he wakes up in, the person killed themselves. There's a gun. He sees a bullet wound, and then as he wakes up, the bullet wound starts to sort of kind of be healed. And then he's trying to work out what on earth has happened. And it doesn't, give too much of his backstory at the start. So yeah, I only watched the first episode, and I was like, this is cool. And also, where he's arrived is kind of some almost like magical 1820s England or something. It's very sort of kind of got that feel about it. You know, I don't know really much more about it, but I just went on there last night, and I kind of was looking for something similar just to gear myself up for today. Really, I was kind of looking up other sort of similar concepts and stuff. But, yeah,
interesting.
Yeah,
cool.
Right, okay. The point, final comments and ratings. But yeah, Tom, do you want to go first? Out of 5, any final thoughts and rating?
Yeah, great experience. Glad I dived into it. Definitely gonna look into some more anime as I go along on my little movie adventure. And yeah, I think I'll give this one a 4 out of 5. Solid.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. Devon?
I'm gonna agree. Definitely a 4 out of 5. I absolutely love this movie. You know, I mean, I'll keep recommending this movie to everyone. I really will. Even if, you know, anime is not their thing, just hey, give it a chance. Just watch the movie. You'll enjoy it. And I think this is a movie that I'll be talking about for many more years to come. Most definitely.
I think this, to be honest, man, this film is just absolutely beautiful. I would, like you guys, I would recommend it to absolutely everybody. I just think it's just so well done, captivating story, characters. Tom, am a big fan of the music. I think that also helps draw you in, and I just love just some of the cinematography as well. The way they're sort of spinning around and the sky, and just honestly, it's just so good. Well, I guys, I gotta give it a 5 out of 5. It's just so good. I'm there. If you've never watched it, seriously watched it. If anyone's listening or whatever or watching, just look. Give anime a chance if you've never done anime before, and this is a good place to start.
Yep.
Right, okay. Next week, me and Tom, we're going to break down the first 3 months of this year. We're going to talk about our highlights, and we're going to kind of summarize some of the movies we've watched over the last 3 months. There's been a lot of big films that have already come out in the last 3 months, so we're going to talk about those. We're also going to maybe link them to some of the Oscars that came out this week. I deliberately held that off to also bring into next week's episode.
That's nice.
So yeah, there's going to be some of our TV movie highlights, some Oscar conversations. So come back for that. We're also on social media: Instagram, Facebook, X, etc. Mainly Instagram, if you want to follow us on there. And if you're listening on the podcast, we're on all your favorite podcast platforms. Please give us 5-star reviews. If you're on YouTube, please do a like and subscribe and all that business. And yeah, man, look forward to seeing you all next week. But yeah, guys, thanks both of you for joining. This episode's gone really fast, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it, man.
All right, we'll dip us all out.